Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome to Motorcycle Live 2024. So we're going to explore the whole of Motorcycle Live 2024, but we've actually got early access. So you see all these people here now? Well, I'm going to take you to when we first arrived so you can see the MotoGB stand. So let's start right here with my friends at MotoGB because they have a lot to offer. So let's have a little bit of a guided tour. So this is Rod from MotoGB, and what we're going to do, Rod is going to take us through all of the new models. I'm going to start with this one. Now, one thing I'll say, remember the name and try not to giggle. So Rod, here we go. I'm going to pass you the microphone. You explain this beautiful new bike coming out 2025.
We are massively excited to show you the new models from Kiwi Motor Group. One of those is Bender Moto. So this is the Napoleon Bob. It's an all new 500 V twin. It's a slightly bigger platform than the 302C. It's come straight from EICMA. It's going to be available hopefully for new vehicle registration in March next year, and we've got an anticipated retail of 5,699 plus on the road. It's got conventional telescopic forks but shrouded, and this is as you see it. This is a production bike. It's not a prototype or a concept. It actually looks this good. It's available in 3 different colours and it is just absolutely stunning. Next to it we've got the other, same engine, same chassis, slightly different look, more of a, you'd say, Harley Sportster style, and this is the Chinchilla. Again, same motor, similar running gear. This is going to be available at 5,299 plus on the road, and again, hopefully here for 1st of March. The orders are placed. It's just allowing for 60 days on the water to come from the factory in China.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Because obviously me and MotoGB are like best friends. Is it possible that Helmet Head me could be the first person to ride a Bender in the UK?
I don't see why not, Mr. Helmet Head. It would be an honour.
There we go. There we go. So I'm going to get to ride. Hopefully this one would be my choice if I possibly could. The first Bender in the UK. What else have we got then?
Well, we've got on the Kiwi range, we have starting at the end of the line the 302C, which has been a really popular hit. Again, very Harley Sportster styled. We've got the RKV 125C next to it, which is the same sort of styling, but a 125V twin with chain drive. And then we've got the V-Cruise 125, which is the same bike, but it's belt-driven.
Oh, belt-driven?
Belt-driven for that Harley authenticity.
Ooh, that's nice.
Also part of Kiwi Group is Morbidelli MBP. So we've got the C1002 V Cruiser, which I do believe you are quite partial to.
I do very much like riding that.
And have we noticed the slight price reduction? It's now £8,499 plus on the road.
How are they able to do it at that price? Because that is an incredible beast to ride. And that's an incredible price. And on the road, is it plus on the road or on the road?
No, plus on the road, which is 200 quid.
That's a steal, that's a proper steal. And it's a beast.
It's an absolute beast.
Blimey. So what else have we got? What's next?
Well, Kiwi K-Lite 125, popular sort of commuter, custom style bike. Kiwi Superlight, which has been the best-selling 125 cruiser since 2010.
Wow, 2010. Because there is a lot, aren't there, as in regards to quite a few years later.
Yes.
You're starting to see these pop up for sale now, and they're still in really, really good nick. So that's 2,399 plus on the road.
Yeah.
That's proper cheap again.
Again, it's a lot of bike for not a lot of money. We're always amazed at how many people are drawn to it. Yes, it does look very Harley-esque, and yes, we've seen loads around London with Harley badges on the tank, especially the gloss black, the SE edition, which comes with the sissy bars and the crash bars and the screen and the tassels.
Yeah.
And it is very Harley fat boy looking, but you know, it's been a steady seller all the way through. But part next to it, we've kind of gone from the sublime to the ridiculous.
That is like Batman's bike, 100%.
Very much so. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the Bender Moto LFC 700. Not good news if you're an Everton or a Man United fan, but we didn't pick the name, remember.
That headlight on the front, that one,
K9.
that That is cool. Like, it looks like a fan, like it's going to go shh.
It really, really next level. Again, it looks very conceptual, but it's a production bike. These have been for sale in France and Spain for the last couple of months, and they're selling like mad. We've brought it here because, boys and girls, we want you to be honest and tell us what you think about the bike. Do you want to see it? We've already ordered some, but, you know, if you think it's the cat's meow, then let us know, because we're really intrigued. It's very radical in its look. It's got the world's largest production rear tyre at a 310 section. 310 millimetres. That's bigger than 12 inches of rubber on a bender.
12 inches on a bender.
13 inches damn near on a bender.
Blimey, that's going to hurt.
And again, quite unique in that it's a 4-cylinder inline 4, but 700cc.
Wow. To be honest, just looking at it, even if I didn't know what size the engine was, I want to ride it. It has that instant feel of going, I want to just go fast. Yeah. It's got that look to it.
Everybody just assumes it's at least 1000cc. I don't know why it's a 700. It's probably to do with marketing laws in certain countries, or it's a popular... I mean, look, they didn't just come up with a random figure, oh, let's make it a 700 to be different. But it's quite a long stroke motor, so it's going to have a lot of grunt, a lot of torque. But I mean, as a style statement, wow, it's just something else. And again, £9,499 plus on the road, which is about 200 quid. So a lot of bike for not a lot of money.
Can I ride that dressed as Batman?
If you want to ride that dressed as Batman, you can ride that dressed as whatever makes you happy.
That will
we
make
like
me happy.
Making you happy.
You do. That's fair. To be fair, you guys really do. And I think that's what I'm going to do. When I get my hands on that, Batman outfit on, dead of night, bush.
If we could brand it as Dark Knight, one word, so there's just 1K, we could get round that, we would. Because who doesn't want to? I mean, there's already a video of a guy in France dressed as Batman riding it through the streets, and he does look pretty cool.
He's already stolen my idea already. Well, I've probably stolen his because he's done it first. But what we can do, get a sticker and just stick that on.
But he is French, so it is not the same, no?
No, well, he can't be Batman, can he?
No, he can't.
No, can't be.
Batman can't surrender.
No. Right, what else have we got?
So, now we come deeply into Vosges territory.
Vosges, the man from Vosges. Have you actually met the man from Vosges?
No, I've heard of him, but, you know. So, here's one you've not ridden, but you are due to ride next, apparently, and it's the lovely 525 ACX, which uses the same engine as the very lovely 525 DSX.
Beautiful.
But in a street scrambler package.
So my favourite type of bike, I love a scrambler, on one of my favourite brands, looking sexy, and it does look sexy.
They are just the loveliest thing to ride, because it's that same basically CB500X engine that's been stroked by 3mm, so it's 497cc, loads of grunt, loads of torque. It's a little bit lighter than the DSX, because obviously you don't have the luggage, you don't have the luggage frames, there's no plastics on it. It's just such a nice thing to ride. So easy to ride, really well balanced. You can flat foot it. It's got a lot of character. It's a genuinely lovely thing to throw a leg over. It really is.
To be fair, all of the 525s I've ridden, I mean, it's the same engine, but the smoothness, there's no vibration coming through. It's what they've done with that size engine. They've given you all the power, all the smoothness, and at a price that, again, is just unbelievable.
£5,499 plus you're on the road. It's a lot of bike for not a lot of money at all.
A lot. With the TFT screen, the lot.
Oh, it's fully loaded. Next to it, obviously, 525 DSX, which has been selling really, really well because of the sheer bang for your buck, what it offers. You know, it's got everything, with the exception of heated grips that don't come as standard. Everything else you could want on a bike is there, and it's 5,999.
Yeah.
That's including the 3-part aluminium luggage. And again, like you said, the engine is so smooth, but it's not soulless. It's got nice character. That's got to be one of the easiest bikes to ride. We've had so many people at events like the ABR who have never ridden a big bike or have always wanted an adventure bike. And we've kind of cajoled them to say, look, come on, take it on a test ride. Look, you can get your feet on the floor. Don't be daunted. It's not heavy. And they've come back and it's like, thank you so much. I never thought I would have the confidence to ride an adventure bike. They've been stuck with 125s or little 350s, but they are, as you know, they virtually ride themselves. They're so easy and so intuitive to ride.
Inspires confidence. That's what I'd say about a bike. When I took it to
Massively.
Wales, and I literally went away to Wales and back and had a coffee, and I came back and I was still like chilled. I didn't have a sore butt. I wasn't feeling knackered. It was just a beautiful bike to ride.
They've got to be one of the easiest things you will ever ride.
Yeah.
No drama, no stress. You don't have to think about it. If you're not feeling A1 at Lloyd's that day, that's the bike you want to be going out and piling the miles on. And as you found, you can ride it all day.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
all day comfy. It's a real world thing to use. So that brings us into Vosges. Vosges. And it is Vosges. We've got a video and it says Vosges at the end.
Is it?
Yeah, that is the correct pronunciation.
Did they also do the whole?
No, that's
No,
you.
no,
You've
just me.
trademarked the leg thing, and
Everyone's going to do that now.
That's you.
You know, everyone's going to walk up today or this door, and they're all going to be doing the Vosges thing.
He's not here today, but I wish Brian was here because he does you with the leg in a way that just has to be. It's like you've got one leg ready to run away.
Yeah.
Away from you.
Yeah, that's it. Vosges.
So again, we've got one of every colourway, but the DS900X adventure bike, which has just been a massive sales hit. Even were stunned by how well it's sold and the demand for it. We've got one last shipment coming in December, and that's it until March. So it's like,
Grab it now then.
grab it now while you can, if you want it. It's not like the price is going to change or anything, but demand. We took a gamble and ordered quite heavily, thinking we didn't want to be in the same scenario as, say, the MT450, where they only brought 120 bikes and they sold in like 3 seconds flat, and now nobody can get one till March or April.
Yeah.
But having done just over 500, we've got this, like I said, this last batch that's coming in for December, and then that's it. You're going to be new registration time when they come through. It's been a huge hit. We're really delighted with the look of the new 800 rally model that was unveiled at EICMA. And what's really interesting with the 800, we all assumed, because obviously there's very strong links that Lonsin make engines for a certain German company that I can't talk about, but it has 3 letters and a range that maybe is GS, so DS kind of sounds similar to GS. So we made the assumption that, it's an 800, they will therefore use the GS 800 engine.
Yeah.
No. Yamaha MT-07 engine.
Have they?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Bored and stroked.
Ooh, that's going to be fun.
All the
And
horsepower.
lively.
Very lively.
Ooh.
But as you've seen with the 525, which is actually 497cc, the stroking of the crank makes such a difference to how much grunt the engine has. So the MT-07's a really good motor anyway. Imagine that with even more oomph and a good 20 kilos lighter than the 900.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to ride that one as well.
Who doesn't want to ride that?
That is going to
one
be
at that
incredible.
point? Carrying on with Vosges, beautiful little Rally 300, which again I do believe you were a tad smitten with.
Yeah, to be fair, so for me, I've ridden Honda, I've had the Royal Enfield, I've owned it, now I've ridden that to me beats all because it's ready. Yeah. There's nothing I'd do to that bike other than go on the trails, because once you're on them, it just handles, even in slippy mud, going through a river. There's not the point where you're sitting there going, all these tyres feel like they're going to lose out, I'm worried about damaging the bike. It just performs unbelievably.
I mean, as a strapline for a manufacturer, Vosges, it does what it says on the tin, because they really do. We've worked with a lot of different manufacturers over the last 20 years, and we're just blown away by Vosges as a company. Just it's a next level to deal with for somebody that you've never heard of. Obviously, Lonsin is an enormous company. You make 2.5 million bikes a year.
Wow.
And 3 million engines for other companies.
Wow.
They've made the engines for that certain German company we don't talk about for over 20 years. But they also make engines for MV Agusta, Kawasaki, Honda. You know, they're a major player. So when they decide to flick the switch and go, we're going to make bikes, they've just gone to all the right suppliers and ticked all the boxes, whether it's Brembo or J. Juan for brakes. Everything is a premium name. It's always Bosch ABS. It just works because they've put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into it. Yeah. And like sales-wise in Europe, because they're 6 months in front of us from when they brought them in, it's just off the charts. Absolutely massive. Next to the little Rally 300 is the 125R.
So I've not ridden that one yet.
Ooh, you've not ridden that one yet, but a lot of people come and look at it. People who possibly retail Yamahas and Kawasaki's and stuff, and they're just like, that's lovely. Yeah. And how much is it again? Oh, £2,599. Yes, that's £2,000 less than the equivalent Yamaha, Honda. You know, it's just stunning. It really is a lovely little bike to ride. And again, the fit, the finish, the quality, it's just consistent throughout the range. Doesn't matter what the price point is, the quality is there. Next to the 125, we have, I do believe, another one of the bikes you were quite partial to, the lovely little 350 AC.
That is just a proper pocket rocket. 8,000 revs and above, it is just like being 17 again. You know, you hit the power band. That is the most fun I've had in a long time, just doing 0 to 60s and then taking it on bends, because you're not actually, you can speed, but you don't need to get the thrill. It gives you all of that. Oh, it's just, I loved riding that bike.
Well, as the man from Vosges told you, it's kind of two bikes in one, because up to the 8,000, the magic 8,000 RPM bit, it's just a lovely commuter city bike, same sort of size and weight as 125. Delightful, so smooth you don't know it's running. You'd never know it was a parallel twin. It is that smooth. But then you hit that magic 8,000 RPM and it comes on the cam, and it's like Jekyll and Hyde. The thing's away and it wants to go. So for those days when you do want a mad 5 minutes, that's your smiles per mile, and you're not at risk of losing your license and going to jail. But it's lovely to be able to ride a bike flat out.
Yes.
And it wants, the thing is, it wants to go. So again, that's started to now, thanks to people actually seeing it on social media, that's starting to sell like mad, because people are going, do you really need to spend any more than £3,999 to have a hoot?
Yeah.
A bike that you can do anything. It's still a jacket and jeans bike. That's the thing that people want these days.
Yeah.
No one's got a lot of time. So it's nice that for the precious minutes you do get to ride to yourself, you're not having to drag the GS out the garage and move the wife's car and get togged up. Jacket, jeans, led, nip the shops, nip to your mates. Just go out and ride.
I just take over 8,000 revs
Once you get it over 8,000
continuously,
revs,
because it's the weapon.
So while we're in that Vosges section, we'll
Vosges.
finish with the last one of all, which again you haven't ridden, but we're going to throw some scooters your way.
Oh, let's get closer.
And it's the Vosges SR1.
To be fair, I really like it, and I can see it's already got the 1080p camera as well.
It's already got your dash cam built in a standard. They bill it as the most technologically advanced scooter available for a 125, which it really is. And again, fit, finish, build quality, just absolutely superb.
I do. To be fair, I already like that. Now, I've been riding a Suzuki Bergman recently, and there's not much difference on an old Bergman to buying that brand new. So it's almost like, take my money. At that price again, 2,799.
Exactly. They're just, as a range, fantastic value for money. And a few people on like Bennett's Bike Social Forum were saying about, the DRZ's coming back out and what should we get and this, that and the other. And it's like, well, compared to the cost of a Vosges Rally, you're going to get either a 10-year-old DRZ that's had, let's just say, a life, one of these brand new with 2 years unlimited mileage warranty, or spunk another £3,000 on the Honda. And it's kind of you really could be on Made in Chelsea and work out which is the one to pick. You know,
The thing is, you can have two. That's for the same price. You can have two bikes.
You can have whichever you want, but at that price, it's £3,000 and change for something else. £3,000 and a cheap.
Or an adventure.
Yeah. Well, or £3,000 and an adventure, and that doesn't mean going to Amsterdam for 4 days either. Not that sort of adventure. So back to Morbidelli, and freshly brought in from EICMA, we have the mighty T1002 VX.
That is going to be an interesting bike.
Isn't it just? Big 1,000 twin adventure bike. So we've got the engine out of the C1002, and you know how nice that engine is.
That is quick.
Isn't it just? But again, I apologise for the lack of luggage. It didn't come in the crate, but it will come fully luggaged up. Look at the size of the big heavy-duty bash plate.
I mean, that looks, from here, completely fully loaded. Put the panniers on, like you said.
Well,
but does that come with everything as standard at that price of 8,699?
8,699, 3-piece luggage, heated seat, heated grips. It's got it all, baby.
Heated seats. Jeez.
There you go. There's the buttons for the heated seat, heated grips. So like the Vosges, they've had to just tick all the boxes from the off, give you everything that you could ever want and then some.
At that price point again.
Yeah.
So they're all going up against each other at the minute. Pretty much.
Really, really I'm going to use the term interesting time. Interesting as in fantastic for us.
Yeah.
Interesting, I'd be worried for certain other manufacturers, because 8699 with your 3-piece luggage, you don't need to buy anything, it's already included. Height adjustable screen, look at the size of the TFT dash.
Yeah, is that what, 7-inch or 9?
9.
I reckon that's a 9 from here.
You know,
It's literally, it's quite breathtaking. And as somebody that does all these sort of things, you look at a bike and you go, do you know what, that's taken my breath away, just staring at it.
what's lovely is, I'm an old hack at this, but in the motor trade all my life, it's all I ever wanted to do. But you still get sort of stayed, you've seen it all, and it's really nice when a manufacturer brings a bike out and you see it in the flesh and you go,
Yes.
I really want to throw a leg over that.
Yes, literally what I'm thinking.
Yeah, whereas opposed to normally you're running press bikes in and you're kind of like, oh, I've got 23 of these to run in and I've got stuff to do. And it's just force of habit. It doesn't matter how fancy the bike is, you're just like, But I can honestly say that running all the Vosgien this year, especially for the launch, can't wait to get on that. And it could be an age thing where suddenly adventure bikes make more sense. They're a bit comfier.
Yeah.
You can still get a good turn of speed and make good progress, but they're just comfy. I think that's what it is. It's torque and grunt, but decent wind protection, handguards, heated seat, heated grips, and again, just a nice thing to ride, comfy, you know. So
what's the date, do you reckon, that this will be available to the general public to buy? Because I've got a feeling this is going to be a massive seller.
Well, again, Mr. MotoGB has put his money where his mouth is and ordered the bikes, so we're waiting. We're hoping again it's going to be new registration time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when it comes around, there's going to be so many new bikes coming out. It's going to be mad.
You are going to see a lot of new Morbidelli models, because again, Morbidelli are part of Keyway Group. So Keyway Group is Keyway, Bendemoto, Morbidelli, and Benelli, which is this nice segue onto what we're going to do next. But without going into the ins and outs, Morbidelli being the new brand can be quickest to do the releases for the various new models. So like this year we've been limited with just the 1000 Cruiser and the SC125 scooter.
Yeah.
Next year you'll have mid-weight adventure bikes, commuters, 500 dual purpose stuff, 125s. It's just going to be like Vosges was nothing to everything. Well, Morbidelli is going to be the same, from 1 or 2 models into, ooh, that's a really competent range.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
It really is. It's whilst we might be in times of economic uncertainty and things like that, when it comes to buying bikes, this is a fantastic time to be around. Yeah. There's some really, really good stuff, and it's not expensive.
I think that's the big thing at the moment, is because these brands are coming in at these prices, it's shaking up the market. And because there's this slight, like you say, uncertain times are happening at the minute with dealers, etc., what we're having and we'll have next year is such a selection at a great price. It should attract everyone back that have even gone, do you know what, I'm going to give up buying my bike, or I'm not going to buy a brand new bike. Because at these prices, for what you get is just incredible.
Why wouldn't you want a new bike, brand new to you,
with the warranty?
With a warranty cover. And it's new. It's not been somebody else's. It really is a no-brainer. So if we jump onto Benelli.
Benelli. Can you say Benelli?
No.
Right.
Wearing sunglasses either for that. So
you should wear sunglasses. Whenever you talk about Benelli, you have to wear sunglasses. And if you've got pink ones, it just adds to it. But what's new coming out for Benelli?
Can't say.
You can't say? So it's a secret. Is it big?
I'm not saying. That's it. It's just silence is golden. You won't be disappointed though.
So is there currently a top secret plan, by the sounds of it, for Benelli? Or is this there, it may not happen? Where are we at? I'm going to guess, and I'm going to try and say there's something massive about to happen, and it's going to be absolutely next level, and it's going to be an incredible price point. So what have we got in front of us now?
Right in front of us right now, we have again yet another offering that you are quite partial to, the absolutely lovely 752S Street Fighter.
Yes. Another bike again, the power, the delivery, it basically puts a smile on your face and an adrenaline hit every time you turn the throttle.
You could almost say it's a thinking man's KTM.
Yes. Yes, you could.
If we removed some of the hooligan elements from a KTM, toned it down slightly, made it so you were less likely to die and you lose your license on every ride, then that's the kind of bike that if you want to go fast, it very much wants to go fast. But if you have restraint, and this is where we struggle because we don't, you can ride it normally. It's just really hard because it just wants to go all the time.
I can't ride it normally. I couldn't.
No, I couldn't either, and I did warn you about that at the time.
You did turn around and say to me, don't lose your licence. And, well, I didn't, because I'm still going.
That's right, but it really does goad you to just push harder, faster, because it works, it steers, it stops, it goes. Looks lovely, really nicely styled, really nicely put together. Just a lovely bike.
See, the one thing I'll say, when I was filming with this bike, most of the filming couldn't be used. I'm not going to say the reason why, but you can figure that out very quickly.
I would imagine it probably involved numbers that started above 80 perhaps.
See, I like to call things like that money. So I'd say around about 90 pence was my fun point of riding this bike because it was alive.
Big speeds plus fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Now, one of my favourite bikes is over in the corner. And of course, the Scrambler is just... That is a bike that I never in my entire life did I think I'd turn around and say a Triumph Scrambler, or by that if I was buying new, would be the Leoncino, would be my bike I'd probably have to buy.
Well, that's why I said, I think I might have made a mistake here. I think I might have given you the wrong bike with the 752 because I'd just been out on the 800 Leoncino trail. And what a bike. What a bike to ride.
It's just amazing.
It is. If you don't like the way it looks, take it for a test ride. If you love the way it looks, definitely take it for a test ride. But bring your credit card with you because it just works. Again, just like you said, you're looking for an excuse to go for a ride on it.
It is.
Hi, love. I'm just nipping to the shops. I'm just going out.
But it's the power, it's the torque. What they've got, if they've just got it right, and the sound from that exhaust. Put both together, it's wet dream bike. The sound and the power is just right. It's all I can class it. It just comes together perfectly.
It's one of those bikes that's a happy accident in that it's far greater than the sum of its parts, and it looks like it shouldn't work, but it really does. From the cow horn style handlebars that are just so comfortable to reach to the scallop seat, the way the ergonomics and the anthropometrics of how you fit with the bike. And then people go, oh, I'm not sure about those tyres. And it's like, no, the Pirelli STRs, that is a sports compound with big chunks cut out of it like a full wet, and it grips like a full wet. It just rides superbly. And £6,499.
My hardest thing every time I ride one of these, and most of them, is not saying to you, can I keep it, as in, can I buy it? Because right now I'd probably have quite a few of these in my garage, and this would definitely be the one.
You would need a bigger garage.
I need a bigger house.
You would need bigger excuses. I do like the excuses that you send to us.
Yes.
You know, I ran through some cow muck, it stinks, I'll have to clean it, I need it a bit longer. You know, things like that. A kitten ran out in front of me and I had to stop. They're all lovely excuses. But there are other people that I need to share the love with these press bikes. You do understand that, don't you?
I can have it later.
Maybe, yeah. You know. And I would like to point out at this point that we do not pay any influencer. We literally go, this is a list of press bikes. Which bikes would you like? What time frames do you need it for? And we work it out between the people that we're going to and the magazines, because we've still got to look after the written press and things like that. But we have always gone through a thing of not paying any influencer. So everything that Mr. Helmet Head says is because he wants to say it. I'm not there stood threatening him or, you know, sort of handing him bundles. Not at all. We want people to be honest. And if we think there's a particular bike that's really, really good and we like, you know, I think you're very good at conveying that. Yeah. There's a lot of people that do facts, figures, and that's great. But if you've got that sort of spare 5 minutes, then when you watch your reviews, you kind of get the whole thing, which is why we love the fact that you're stupid and start with a 0 to 60 for everything, because that's kind of what you do, isn't it, really? You know what I mean? Yeah, for me, when I review, it's very much about the bike and how I feel. Facts and figures are great, but that's not my cup of tea. I'm never interested in it. I put a little bit on, but I just want to know how the bikes feel. And for me,
what you've been sending me, and it's been very clever, has been the bikes that have made me go, I want this, I want this, I want this. So I want you to keep doing that because I want all these bikes now.
Well, luckily for you, we've got a lot of bikes that do that. That's the lovely thing. 502 TRK. Again, been a massive seller in Europe, France, Italy. Possibly getting a little bit long in the tooth as a model. There may be some revisions coming out, but we can't talk about that. But again, as you've said, full-size bike. Whilst it's only a 500, it's large, it's comfy, it's all-day rideable comfort, and a price point that's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable for what you get. £4,999 for one of the pre-reg ones, which, as you've said, are brand new bikes in the crate.
Yeah.
Due to the Euro 5 Plus, which comes in on the 31st of December, we've had to pre-register a lot of bikes because they won't meet the new Euro 5 Plus standard. You're allowed to keep like 100 machines that the government will allow you on derogation. They don't need pre-registering. If not, you would have to take those bikes for specialist vehicle or single vehicle approval. So this is why you're going to see a lot of manufacturers doing pre-reg deals to clear the stock, because we've ordered the new Euro 5 Plus compliant machines. So it's just a case of even more so, now's the time to buy and get that deal. Yeah. You know, you're saving hundreds of pounds, and it's still a new bike. It's sat in a crate. It's not a 22 or a 23 plate that's been sat at the back of a showroom that you can't give away. No, it's a new bike. It's just that you've got the importer or the manufacturer as the first name on the logbook. It happens with cars all the time. So, you know, 4,999 for an adventure bike. The luggage is an additional thing you can put with it for sort of 600 quid. It's a lot of bike for not a lot of money.
The one thing is I always turn around and say, especially with these and the price point right now, especially on your website, motogb.co.uk, I can't find these anywhere at that price. So right now, it is the time to go over and click and buy it. One of the things I was going to ask you was that with MotoGB, can you literally click on the website, have it delivered to your house, and have no, in regards to having to go into a dealership, sign any paperwork? Is that a possible thing?
Yes. It's something we brought out very quickly when lockdown hit, that obviously people are sat at home, you've got a mortgage holiday, you can't go on holiday. So it was like, right, we've got 7 vans that deliver bikes all over the UK. We look after 300 dealers. Could somebody click online and buy? Yes, they can. So if you're agoraphobic and you don't want to go out and you don't like going to dealers, you can buy direct from us and we'll deliver it. If you do want to go to your local dealer, that's fine. We're happy to do both, whichever you want. We're not exclusively online. We're, at the end of the day, we're a multi-franchise importer, and we have been for over 20 years. But you have the option that you can buy direct from us or support your local dealer. So 702, number 1 selling bike in Italy.
To be fair, I can understand why. Straight away, you can understand why, can't you?
It's the number 1 selling bike in Italy. If you can beat Ducati in Italy, you've got to be doing something right. And it is. Again, you've ridden it. It rides beautifully. It's a little bit analog in the digital world. So the Vosges 900 is very digital. That is very analog. You just sling a leg over it and it does what it needs to do.
I'd turn around and say, for me, it's an all-day riding bike.
Yeah.
If you want to get from A to B comfortably, I wouldn't say it's loaded with power, but what I'd say is it's got plentiful and it's enough.
It's enough power. Even if you're 2 up, it's never going to go like 1,000 or an 1,100 because it's not. It's 700cc. But 6,899 with your 3-part aluminium luggage, I mean, that's just for nothing. It really, really is. So, coming down to the lower capacity sort of side of the stand, 125s, 300s, etc. You've got to, coming from the Benelli, whilst yes, the bike's made in China, but all the R&D, the design, the development, everything is still very much an Italian company, and they are based in Pesaro, as Benelli were originally. FP Mondial, which just style-wise just knocked everything out of the park. I mean, it's a fully furred 125 that's actually a cafe racer called the Sport Classic, and it's 3,299 quid.
That's stunning. That is just absolutely stunning to look at. The
attention to detail, the care and the love, and it's as graceful as anything you're going to see on like an MV. Yeah. The level of style on it, they are oozing style.
I think the way I'd put it is, I think if I got on that, I'm literally uber cool straight away.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you look at it and just go, that's cool. I'd look cool riding that.
If you were riding that in that there London,
Yeah.
nobody would think you were on a 125.
No.
You know what I mean?
Completely, yeah.
If
That
Tom
looks-
Hardy was on it, you could ride that next week and women would want to do things to you because that's how cool the bike looks.
generally looks amazing. And right behind us, let's talk about this, because that again is just, what an incredible bike.
It's from the HPS range, which is hipster, but you can't use it due to licensing terms, so it had to be HPS for hipster.
I like that.
This is a concept that came out like a street scrambler with twin stacked silencers, and then there's various special editions that basically tributes to riders that raced for FB Mondial. And there was Carlo Ubiali, who was famous in the sort of 50s, and it's a tribute. And the factory Mondials were always silver and blue, that's their race colours. So you've gone for the sort of Bentley crosshatch stitching on the seat, heavy pearlescent colours. When they do a special edition, it is just gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
That is amazing.
£2,999.
That is, for the looks, just the looks. This is the kind of bike that you'd put in your living room on a stand just to look at. Forget having a Christmas tree, have this.
It's kind of got that typical Italian thing where it doesn't matter if it doesn't run, I'll just sit and look at it.
Yes.
And there's only the Italians that can do that.
Yes.
Where the style is kind of just next level.
Yes.
You know.
That is awesome looking.
But I mean, it's a good range from Mondial. We've not got the room to have everything in every colour scheme, which is why you go to the website, motogb.co.uk. But the stuff that they do, and the stuff that they've just shown at EICMA, the new Super Motard, which is so sharp you're going to cut yourself on it, they really have got a nice range of smaller capacity bikes, including the SMX Enduro 125. So this is the sort of off-road version. There's a Supermoto version of it again, but typically Italian with the lurid graphics, styling-wise. The engines are all basically an Aprilia RS4 125. So again, pretty bomb-proof as a motor.
And quick for 125.
Yeah, quick for a 125. They're nice and light, but with good build quality. And then last of all, on the end, the Piega, which, again, it's only a 125, but when have you ever seen a 125 look as big and as sort of macho as that?
That is. That, again, you wouldn't think that's a 125.
With winglets.
Because you're going to be going that quick. It's going to pull you down. So the big question at this point, and I know we've mentioned it a couple of times, if anybody wants any more information, anything that they want to, if they want to buy one, if they want somewhere they want to be able to go and test ride one, all they need to do is pop over to motogb.co.uk and everything's there.
By all means. Or if you come into the NEC, Hall 2, Stand 10B, 66 bikes on display.
That's a lot.
Can't miss it.
Put your leg over.
In it just
a bit. Well, thank you so much, Rod, for having us here.
Thank you so
and
much
taking
for
your
coming
time
and
to
filming.
take us around.
It's an absolute pleasure.
So next up is Roadskin, and as we know, I am a big fan of Roadskin. All of their gear I race in, all of the videos, all the time. This is the first time I'm meeting the boys, so let me get you to introduce yourselves first.
So I'm Ian, who's chief designer,
Chief designer.
and Mark, who's social media.
Oh,
I'm Mark, the chief dish and bottle washer.
Chief bottle washer.
Yeah, that's my job. That's my main chore in life.
So we've got the most two important people here, designer and bottle washer. Now, I've always said the same on every single video when I talk about Roadskin itself. It's a very passionate brand about what they make and what they do, and that's why I wear their kit. So can you tell me a little bit about the brand, a little bit about the history, and also all the hard work that goes into testing and making the products as safe as they are?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is that Mark and I both ride bikes full stop in the game. We used to run a courier company together in the old days. So we were back in the 80s when we got completely trashed, lost
And all
most of
you
our
had-
skin,
yeah,
broke
all-
legs,
and
used
all
to
you
wear
had
bin
was
bags
jeans.
and
Basically, all you had was jeans or a full set of levers, and now nobody rides, no couriers rode in full sets of levers, so your jeans and jackets. And that's why we started on this journey, basically, of finding something that could actually protect you but still look good. And over the last 10 years, we've developed it from a name and a pair of jeans into what you see now. And obviously, behind you there, Alan, are all the reports from various magazines saying that they like our products, which is really nice. It's quite humbling in reality, but it's all just coming from two guys that like the clothes that we make, and because nobody else seemed to be out there making those clothes, and that's why we did it.
I think the thing with what you just said is because you're bike riders, you've done courier work, you've gone and done the thick and the hard stuff of riding where you can have the accidents, you've taken all that experience and time and you've gone, I want to create something really good that works, that's comfortable. One of the things that I love about road skin is I could take out the armour and I could wear it out, going out for dinner, going out for a drink, and it's really comfortable. What I find where I wear other jeans, they're really heavy and I don't get on with them, they're falling down the entire time, where road skin are just jeans. But triple A.
What he's wearing, he's got the Tyrannus black on, and I've got the Tyrians on. Both of these we'll be wearing for the next 8 hours. On this, it'll be busy. We'll get sweaty.
You've been wearing this for the next 8 days.
They just feel like a normal pair of jeans. And bear in mind, we've ridden in these as well. We've had these. Well, I've had these for a year. He's had them for a couple of years. So we ride in them regularly, and then we work in them regularly, so people can see what they actually feel like after a period of time.
And we also say when we say we test them, we really do test them. So last year we went up Stella Alpina.
Yeah.
Mark here tested them by falling off many times up the hill.
Yeah.
4 times, 5 times.
4 or 5 times.
Oh,
doesn't matter really, does it? It's all part of life's rich journey, isn't it?
Yeah, and then went to Spain this year, did about 4 weeks in Spain, testing some new jackets, new summer jacket we got coming out for next year. And so when we test it, when I say I'm the designer, it's not strictly true. We come up, because we've ridden bikes for so long, what happens is that Mark and I come up with what we need, so we need this or we need that, or this doesn't work, we need a bit more stop it riding up at the back.
Yeah.
Then what we do is when we got the basic idea, we then got a young lady called Sumi who actually makes it look good. And that's the difference, because as you can tell, we don't have a lot of style.
Well, I was going to say, because your stuff is really cool. It's like the armoured shirt, the hoodie. So is that a design team behind it, or is that you guys coming together?
We basically
come up with the ideas, and then the design team make it happen, basically. So we come up with the ideas, we get a rough prototype of what we think it will be like, then we basically try it, see it, point out all the things that we think are rubbish, and then the design team fine-tune, hone it, give us the next presentation. It can take 5 or 6 iterations before we end up with something that we're happy with. Once we're happy, then we get it certified and then we can put it into production.
Yeah, it takes a long time. I mean, our summer jacket, which hopefully is going to be ready for next year, so far it's taken us about 8 months, 9 months to do.
Yeah.
We're on the fourth prototype already, so we'll wear it and change it, and then we suddenly realise, but it's not until you use this stuff that you suddenly go, shit, pocket's too small, or this is too small.
Yeah, and
I'll tell you a quick funny story. The first time we made our Maximize jacket, which is one of the top selling hoodies, which I think you like, you wear, yeah? First one we did, we made it, we were really chuffed to beans with it, and we started selling them, and someone came out to us
and said, super excited. That was an 11 out of 10 experience for us.
And the guy came up to us and he said, a great jacket, I really love the jacket. He said, can you put some pockets in it so I could put a phone in it and a wallet in it? And we'd forgotten to put pockets in it, you know. And it's just little things like that. It sounds crazy, but you do forget things. You know, you do make a lot of differences, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we change it all the time. So they upgrade. We're going to our 3rd version of the hoodie next year, I believe.
Sometime next year, yeah. When we've finalised it, you know, we're testing it at the moment. We're testing it with the new Real armour as well. So back armour, shoulder and elbow, just to see what it's like after a few thousand miles. And then if we're happy, the jacket's working, but if we're happy with the armour, then we'll make that will be our 3rd iteration.
And we can use our very own crash test dummy here. He will no doubt fall off again and test it.
No, you know, yeah. It should be good. It should be good. Everything we do, we make sure it works before we put it out to the public.
And some things we actually never put into production.
Because it's not what...
Yeah, we got a whole, well, not a whole drawer, we've probably got 4 or 5 different articles back in the warehouse that we've tried and just didn't work. We thought it worked and we just couldn't get it right. And so we're not into just trying to, we don't do it just for money, we do it because we really believe in it and we want people to be safe.
And I do think that is the key to it, is we make stuff that we ride in. We're not buyers for a company that just say, oh, we'll have that, never ridden in it, don't know what it feels like, but it says it's a bike thing. We make stuff that we're comfortable, we feel comfortable riding in, and if we're comfortable, as I said, I've already said the word humbling before, the humbling thing is thousands of other people equally find it as comfortable to wear and ride in, so that's really great for us, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing, and we listen to people, we listen to you, we listen to various others that come back with feedback, and then we'll take it on board, and if there's something that we can change, then we'll look to, if there's enough feedback on it, we'll look to change it. But that's where it sits.
Like pockets in hoodies.
Pockets and hoodies. Well, that's the one thing that I love really. Every time you give me a product, you say, any problems, come back, anything you don't like, come back, tell us about it, and we'll change it. Yeah. And that's amazing for a brand just to go, if you don't like it, let us know. But the problem is I like it, so I keep wearing it. And I proved the jeans work. 16 days straight, same pair of jeans went 28,000 kilometres. I did wash them every once in a while, but they still look like brand spanking new. I suppose the biggest thing is I always call myself the unofficial ambassador, because all I do is go road skin, road skin, road skin. Can we now make me the official?
Yeah, you are.
We are the official, unofficial ambassador.
Do you know what? I'm going to take it. I'll take that. I'm the official, unofficial ambassador.
Official ambassador of road skin clothes and clothing. Yeah, that's what you are, Alan.
And the thing of it is, why I asked that is they've even given me a certificate that I will show you later, and a bottle of bubbly, so I can pop it and go, do you know what? I'm finally the official, unofficial ambassador. But I love road skin, so honestly, go over to the website, check them out, because I believe in their gear, otherwise I wouldn't wear it. So let's now look at BMW, because we've moved away from the Vosges and the prices of the Vosges. So let's have a cheeky look at the BMW stall. Now it's getting extremely busy really quickly here, so we'll see how much we get to see. But I want to have a look at the price point difference. Let's have a look at the BMW 900 GS. Now this is just over £15,000. This is the low seat option. So this is over that price wise for 15 grand. Because everything you see on it, that's the price. So you're obviously getting your crash bars, no panniers or anything put on the back whatsoever at all. You do get quite a lot of options though. Obviously you've got your suspension that's really cool with this. But this is a lot of money for this bike, a lot of money. This low seat height though, for me, who's quite short, this is quite a lot more comfortable. But I don't know, for me, I think I'd buy the Vosges. If I'm completely honest with you, the Vosges is definitely more for me. But this is the BMW 900 GS. And it's a nice looking beast. So next I want to move on to, of course, the BMW 1300 GS Adventure. Now everybody said when this bike came out it was ugly, it was going to kill the BMW GS range, but then suddenly everybody loves it. So let's have a closer look. So as you can see, the plastic part on the front, the silver plastic part, I think that's been the biggest change with this model that they've brought out. And now in the flesh I wouldn't say I'm taken with it, but it does look absolutely incredible. But I don't know, it's a real one of those Marmite looking bikes. Now the headlight change that they did from the 1250 to the new GS as well, I like that actually. It's got this kind of like X-Men style thing going in on the front. But generally, I don't know, I think I prefer the 1250 over the new 1300 in general, to be honest. But let's look at the price point, £27,751 for everything on this bike. And I'm not going to do base model prices because they come with nothing, so we're going to look at what they actually really cost. But for me, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think to the new R1300 GS Adventure. Now you can get the TE model of the 1300 GS, and that doesn't come with panniers at £22,800. It's a lot of money, but to be fair, I've not ridden one, and from what I understand, they are a serious powertrain to ride. So I'm sure once I get a go, it will change my mind, but right now, it just seems a lot of money for that bike. So we've just come over to the CF Moto stand, and this is the new 700 MT. There is no price at the minute, but sitting on it, it feels really nice straight off of the go. You've got a nice set of controls as well with it up here, a TFT display. But the height of this for me feels perfect, so I reckon it'll be quite confident, inspiring. Now CF Moto are offering so much coming out, so it's just going to get bigger and bigger. But I've really got to have a go on one of these because it feels really nice just to sit on. Now this is the Triumph 400 Scrambler X, and this bike is one of the biggest selling currently on the market, and you can easily see why. Price point of just shy of £5,800. It feels good. It's got that Triumph build quality at a really good price. This is another bike I want to get onto the channel because you can see it just looks absolutely awesome. It has got a little bit of a cheaper feel to it, I'm not going to lie. The switchgear looks a little bit cheaper, handlebars a little bit cheaper, but this is the kind of bike you could buy and you could have an absolute giggle with, thrash around, do some trails, feel cool, and you're getting that Triumph brand, that British Triumph brand. Now we've moved over to the Honda stand and the Transalp 750, the new Transalp 750, no prices on the board, but this feels like a big bike. Now for me, this always looks like the 500 dressed up, but it's supposed to be like the mini Africa Twin. The switchgear looks really good quality as we expect from Honda, nice TFT display, tray, crash bars, get the panniers, the lot. But it'd be interesting to see what price this one comes in at. The only thing is, I just hope it's as good as the Africa Twin and they've not messed it up. But it looks alright, a little bit like a jet ski in my opinion. But feel and the build quality, of course it's Honda, so it feels good. Now, the Super Curb C125, the Super Curb, just shy of 3.9. This is so much fun. Now, my biggest problem though is this colour. It does look cool, but what I really want them to do is bring back that beautiful blue, because I think it would sell more. The matte kind of kills it for me, but it really is a fun bike, and the gearbox, the step through, you get used to so quickly. Honestly, you need to get yourself down to Honda and test drive one of these, because it is proper cool. And now Zonti, this is a 700. Now I'm gonna not lie and say I've never heard of Zonti before in my entire life, but apparently this bike will come with everything for just shy of £7 grand. I have no idea what the black box is on the back. It looks like it could be extra fuel, but we can't find anything running in, so I don't know. But Zonti, this could be interesting. It looks good, it looks cool, it comes with the crash bars, the lights, the works. So we'll find out hopefully next year more about this. But Zonti, never heard of them, but I have now. Now, one thing about Motorcycle Live, lots of people come for the bargains, all the big brands, all the kit at a decent price. And as you can see, if you come down to Motorcycle Live this year, next year, it is just virtually a haul full of kit, jackets, helmets, everything. The problem is, I want to buy so much of it, as you can imagine, but this is the bargain hunter's corner. Next up is the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450, and I've owned the predecessor, the 411, and I tell you what, this is a completely different bike and a completely different feel. To me, this already feels higher. You've got a beautiful display in front of me, beautiful switch gear as well. Now I'm about to go to India in January to test one of these in the Himalayas itself, and I'm already excited to release the beast of one of these and see what they can really do. But just look at it. It's come a long way in looks, and obviously that extra bit of poke, I reckon it's going to be a heck of a fun machine to ride. But everything about it feels good quality, and I'm quite impressed. Now comes on to the Super Meteor 650, and look at it. It is huge. Now in the pictures for me, this looked like quite a small bike. I wasn't expected to feel this big. Your legs are pretty well spread. No man wants to tell you that his legs are being spread, but they are. It's got so much space to it. The clocks are analog on the front with a little bit of LCD, plus a little bit of digital there that's basically a sat nav. But generally, the Super Meteor 650 feels like a big bike that I reckon would be super comfortable on the road. I'd love to take one of these on a road trip. But yeah, I'm impressed with how big this bike feels. Now, the Interceptor 650, they've basically gone for Triumph's Bonneville. They've gone after it, haven't they? They've gone for that look, that style. And to be fair, it's got that Bonneville feel to it. Now, I will say, for me, just sitting on this, looking at the build quality, probably isn't up there with Triumph, but the price point, of course, is a little bit less. But one of these things I'd say, one of the things, is that I'd happily customise this into what I want. But I do love the look. It has that classic retro look that I really, again, like. Royal Enfield are just getting things right time and time again at the minute. This bike I'd like to take out again, because it looks cool. So we've just found another brand that I've never heard of, Cove. You ever heard of Cove?
Never heard of it, no.
Now, interestingly, you've just jumped on this bike. What are your initial thoughts?
It feels to me, very much like a Yamaha Tenere. But, you know, looking at the bump on the plaque there, it says it's the most powerful, lightweight adventure bike. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it does feel, it feels very nice.
I'm with you, it looks like a Tenere. If you take a look at it from a little bit further away, you can see exactly what the Psychic's talking about. That does look like that. Be interesting to see if the claims are right, and it'd be lovely to get that bike out on the trails. But it's got a nice look to it, hasn't it? Anyway, never heard of Cove, so that's another bike manufacturer that must be coming out that I'm going to find out more about and let you know when I know. Now this is interesting, because this is the new BSA Scrambler, and I'm desperate to get my hands on a BSA as well. But what I'll say is, sitting on it straight away, it's got quite a far reach, but it looks awesome. Now, I wish I saw more BSAs out on the road, and I haven't seen one yet. Now, I know they've been out for a little while and they've brought back the Gold Star, but they're bringing out some more models, so hopefully we'll see some more from the BSA. But just on styling, it looks awesome. I just want to feel the ride of this bike. Let's get them out there, let's see them. because they potentially have the awesomeness that we're all looking for out of a brand. But hopefully BSA will be back in style. But the switch gear, the look of it, the build quality, it all looks really, really good. So this bike, everyone seems to love. It's the V-Strom from Suzuki, the 800. You get this at 11 grand at the base model, and I've got to say, it does feel super comfortable. But what I find quite interesting jumping on it is the clutch on the left-hand side. The clutch is cable, so it's got quite a heavy feel to it. And I was expecting to have that more light side. But I understand why people love it, because as soon as you sit on it, it just feels really, really comfortable. And let's be honest, it's not bad looking, is it? Now the new Yamaha Tenere, this is the Rally Edition dual tanks, and it feels meaty. Now this bike is going to get a lot of people extremely wet in the pants department because they love them, and I can see why straight away. It feels super tall, but this is meant to go anywhere and do anything. It has this lovely kind of long kind of display as well, what's quite unique to the styling. The clutch on this side of things, going back from the V-Strom, is a lot lighter, but it's also a cable clutch. I don't know why I'm expecting more, but I am. But this is packed with so much being the Rally Edition. And I can see it. I can see why people love this so much and are going to get wet about it, because the places you could take this is pretty incredible. Initial thoughts though? Yeah, it does feel good. So I've just walked past the Suzuki stand again, and I've come across the Suzuki Bergman. That, you know, that I've ridden one of these on a charity event and it broke down, but we'll take all that out of it, doesn't matter. What I find funny is this Suzuki Bergman, the new 400, £7,200. Walk by going, do you know what, I want to have a sit on the Bergman, and they tick every box. Massive compartment underneath, uber comfortable to ride, plenty of power. £7,200 though. I just think it's far too much, but I do have fond memories of the mighty Suzuki Bergman. Now, I've just come across the Caballero 500 Scrambler, and don't these look nice? And interestingly, I've just spoken to the team that import them here in the UK, as well as Peugeot and other brands. But I've just had a chat to say I'd love to get this on the channel, so hopefully we've got an upcoming review of this bike. But doesn't this look sexy? Seriously sexy, and I've seen quite a lot of these actually around, so obviously they're selling, so there's got to be some good interest. They've got a few different colours coming out for 2025, but yeah, this looks like a right beast. I'm going to look forward to testing this properly in the 11 out of 10 way. Well, I've sat on so many bikes here at Motorcycle Live. It's been absolutely incredible. They've got everything going on. There's music playing behind me. There's an entire like simulator thing going on. You can ride bikes. There is so many. I've missed out so many brands as well. But what I'll say is it's worth coming down to Motorcycle Live and trying it out for yourself, because it is absolutely awesome. But right now, it's time for me to go and get a non-alcoholic beer, chill out before I have to head home. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you here on the Helmet Head channel for the next crazy episode. Bye bye for now.